Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. My name's Leslie. I am the Farm and Pastor's Wife, and you are in my kitchen down on our farm, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Look, if you're back and you're one of the loyal viewers, welcome back, and if you're brand new, welcome. So let me just say that we are going to make a cake, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you up front, there is not going to be a taste test to this cake. The reason being is this cake is being made for a benefit. It's a benefit auction. So we're just going to make this together. You guys, if you followed my channel, you've actually seen the cake portion of this cake before because it's one of my go-tos. It's one I make a lot. I've probably made it several times on the channel, but we're going to make it again. But we're going to make it with a twist. Since this is going up for auction, we're going to give it a cream cheese icing. What I am making is my butter pecan cake, which is just a doctored up box cake. But we're going to put on it a cream cheese icing and toasted pecans on top. It's going to be delicious. I used to make this for the restaurant we had that we were part owners in, and it was always a hit. There was actually there used to be a picture of it on the website for a long time at that restaurant. But anyway, I am so excited to make this. Bryant is super upset because we're not going to have a taste test. Like if I was making this for church, you know, like a potluck, we're totally fine doing a quality control tasting. But this is going up for auction. We can't do a quality control tasting for that. So we are going to make it and drool over it and plan for the next time I make it. I am going to be doing, in a couple of days, we're going to be doing a family dinner. We're going to have a pasta, a Caesar salad. We're going to make a great dinner. And I'm going to make my grandma's pound cake for that. I know you guys have seen that umpteen times on this channel, but we're going to make that for that meal. And then probably the next time I make a family dessert, we'll do the pecan and I'll make the cream cheese icing for it. So, all right. I'm going to get everything kind of situated. I have everything out. I just got to kind of get it situated. We may make the icing. It'll be on this video, but for me, it'll be like in the morning. So I've got to go pick up Judah in just a little bit from school. And I also want to cut. Let me show you this. Hang on. Ugh. This is a watermelon that my son Isaac grew in his garden. And so we're going to, some he's picked and they've not been ripe. Some he's picked and they have been ripe, but they're a little unique. So I can't wait to show you this. And when we stick the cake in the oven, we may give this a cut open and I'll show you what it looks like and why it's a little unique. So don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss us cutting this watermelon. I hope it'll be ripe. I don't know. They actually have started just kind of falling off the vine. The vine is just kind of curled up, and they say that's how you know when they're done or ripe. But that's happened to a couple of them, and they haven't been ripe. So we'll just wait and see on this one. But the ones that have been ripe have been amazing. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I say they're different and they're unique. It's it kind of plays with your mind a little bit. So, all right, let me get everything situated. I'll meet you back right here. All right, so today is probably the chilliest day it's been here in our area. Now, it's not cold, but there's a crispness in the air. And it lets you know fall is here. We are now in fall. But I'm getting out this bowl early. Let it snow. Y'all, it has not snowed here where we are in the last 2 years. And if I have to suffer through cold weather, I want snow. I want there to be a reason to enjoy the cold weather. And we have not seen snow in the last 2 years. And so I'm hoping if I get my bowl out early, that before winter ends, we're going to see some snow. So we'll see. All right. So like I said, we're making a butter pecan cake, and we're starting with a box cake. And I'm just going to get this out of here, clip the top, and pour it in the bowl. All right, so we're just going to pour our cake mix right in there, bag and all. All right, and I've got a cup of water here going in. This is a very moist cake. 3/4 cup of oil. You can use, vegetable oil, canola oil, pretty much a flavorless oil. We're also going to add in here, I'm going to do this last, but we're actually going to add this thing of icing into the cake. I'm going to go ahead and do our eggs. I need to be doing these in a separate bowl because I don't want to get a shell in there. So let me grab one. I try to always do that, but sometimes I don't think about it. And we're just using 4 eggs. Y'all, it's getting very close to our 3rd grandson being born. I'm so excited. All right, before we put the icing in, let's give this a whirl with the mixer. If you're sensitive to sound, turn your volume down. All right, I'm going to take just a minute and scrape any excess cake mix, that may have got up here on the sides. Want to knock it down in there. We definitely don't want to miss that goodness. All right. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to kind of leave it under the beater so they don't drip everywhere. But we're going to take this. I burnt my spatula. I was making caramel, I think, when I burn it. And we are going to just drop this whole tub of icing down into this cake mix. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. And we're going to bake this in a bunt pan. Y'all, that dropped right on the lid. That was good. We're going to bake this for about 45 to 50 minutes. And then, for me, it'll be tomorrow, but for you, it'll be just a little bit. We'll make the icing. But first, we're going to cut into this watermelon. That's how I get the excess off the beaters, is I just slowly lift it up and spin it a little bit. Okay, I've sprayed my pan, and one of my viewers taught me this trick. I can't do it today, and I'll tell you why. But the trick is to take your dishwasher, open it up, kind of set the pan in the door of the dishwasher and spray your pan there. That way, if there's any overspray, it's in the dishwasher. The next time you run your dishwasher, it's going to get it clean. What an amazing idea. I just can't do that, however, right now because I just finished a load of dishes that I have not put away. They're still hot. I think they may actually still be drying, but it's clean dishes in there. I don't want to get them greasy with the spray again. But I use Baker's Joy, sprayed my bunt pan really good. And we're just going to pour this in here. All right. Y'all see me making a mess on the side of the bunt pan? That's okay. I'm going to leave a little bit in there for Bryant to lick. All right, going in a 350-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. All right, let's cut into this pumpkin while the cake is baking. I actually need to set a timer. Hang on. Now back to, I think I've called this a pumpkin. It's a watermelon. If I called it a pumpkin, it's only because I'm thinking about our family pumpkin carving night. That's what Jessica and I have been texting about that, and I've got that on my mind. So sorry if I called it a pumpkin. I do know it's a watermelon. And if I did call it a watermelon, then just excuse my craziness. All right, let's cut into this. I want you guys to see the uniqueness of this watermelon. I don't know if it's going to be ripe, but we're fixing to find out. Okay, did you see? Are you ready? It's yellow inside. Oh, it is ready. I can smell it already. I didn't do the best carving job, but that's okay. Oh, I can tell you it's going to be a delish. All right. Let's try it. That's so good. That is so good. I'm going in for another piece. Y'all, I normally salt my watermelon. Do you guys salt your watermelon? Tell me. How many of you put salt on your watermelon? I do all the time, but this is so good you don't have to. I love salt on my watermelon. What about cantaloupe? I bet I do something not many of you do to your cantaloupe. I salt my cantaloupe too, which I think a lot of people do, or a lot of people I know do, but I also pepper it. I salt and pepper my cantaloupe. So how many of you have ever seen a yellow pumpkin? I said pumpkin. A yellow watermelon. Y'all, that is so good. So good. So the only thing that would make it any better is if it was cold. But it's kind of chilly here today, so it doesn't hurt my feelings. And with it not being cold, it don't hurt my teeth. So anyway, all right, let's just wait on the cake. But I did want you guys to see a yellow watermelon. They look just like a red one on the outside, and you don't know it's yellow till you get it on the inside, unless you know it's a yellow watermelon. But it absolutely tastes no different. I mean, it is so good. It's not any different than a red one, but it plays with your mind a little bit. Like you're like, does that taste different? I can't tell. It should taste different because it's yellow, but it doesn't. So it does play with your mind a little bit. I'm going to get me one more piece before I go sit down and wait for the cake to come out of the oven. I hate we're not going to get to taste test the cake, but we will ice it tomorrow. We'll ice it tomorrow. Oh, there's a seed. And we'll send it out for the benefit. So good. Hang tight. We'll be back. In case I didn't tell you, my son, Isaac, you've seen him on here before if you follow my channel. He had a little garden at his house, and he grew this watermelon. He also grew the most unique corn. I had some pictures, but I deleted pictures out of my phone. But it was iridescent, all kinds of pastel colors. It was absolutely beautiful. But anyway, he grew this watermelon at his house, and I'm proud of him. He had his own his very own little garden, and he did a great job with it. So, all right, leave in the comment. 1, do you salt your watermelon? 2, do you salt and pepper your cantaloupe? And 3, have you ever seen a yellow watermelon? All right, now we're waiting on the cake. All right, it is the next morning, and before we get started on the actual icing, I need to toast up some pecans. And I just bought some chopped pecans, and I'm just going to sprinkle a few on top. And I'm going to do that for kind of 2 reasons. 1, to, kind of solidify the butter pecan cake. I'm just kind of driving that home a little bit with the pecans. And also, there are people with nut allergies, tree nut allergies, and if they see the pecans on top, they know there's probably pecans inside and don't buy it. So I kind of do that for 2 reasons, especially now, maybe at home, I wouldn't do that because 1, there's no allergies. 2, I would know what kind of cake I made. But since this is going to a charity auction, I want to at least let them know that, hey, there's nuts in here. So I'm just going to put this in a little frying pan and do it on the stovetop. Now, you got to watch it pretty close on the stovetop. And y'all know I'm not the best at that, but we're going to do it on the stovetop. I want to get them done. I want to get them and cool them off before I put them on the icing. So we're going to do this part first. So I'm just going to go over there and do that. Y'all don't have to watch that. You know how to toast up nuts. Some people do it in the oven. It's probably safer to do it in the oven, although you still can burn them in the oven if you're not watching. But I just kind of want to do it fast. So I'm going to be over here. I'll be back in just a second, and we'll put this icing together, and then we'll slap it on the cake. All right, so let me tell you what you're going to need for this icing. You're going to need 4 cups of powdered sugar, a full 8-ounce block of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter or half a cup softened. If you're using unsalted butter, you're going to use like 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, but I use salted butter, so we skip the salt, and then a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm going to get everything over here to the stand mixer, and I'll meet you back as we start to whip it up. All right, when I am beating up a cake, I say don't overbeat. You don't want it to be tough. Well, when it comes to icing, you kind of want to overbeat because it makes it fluffy. So I'm going to start by putting in my butter and my cream cheese and get those whipped together. I'm using my whisk attachment here, and now we're going to put in our cream cheese. I was looking for my offset spatula to be able to put the icing on this cake, and I couldn't find my small one, but I did find my big one, so we'll try that. All right, takes me just a minute to get this open. There we go. It's still early. I'm not being very graceful. I'm going to get all this off, so give me just a second. This is such a quick cake. The hard part is this kind of stuff, is getting everything open and in there. This cake comes together so fast and so deliciously. All right, we're just going to whisk this together and get it nice and fluffy. So now let's add in our vanilla. I put a lot of it up on the thing. All right, so here we go. And now I'm going to slowly start adding the powdered sugar. I'm going to do this till I get it all incorporated, and then we'll turn it up on high and let it whip and get. You don't want to turn it on high while you're putting the powdered sugar in, because you'll have a cloud of powdered sugar all over your kitchen. Ask me how I know. You've probably witnessed me do that multiple times. So I'm going to get it all in, and I'll bring you back in just a second. All right, we've got it all in there now. So now we're going to turn it on high and let it whip till it gets nice and fluffy. Before I actually turn it up, I do want to do something else. I want to lift it, and I want to scrape the bottom. Because as you can see, for some reason, my whisk attachment doesn't get down into the very bottom. So I want to get that incorporated in some of that more moist icing. All right, there we go. Now, it doesn't look much like icing right now, but just wait a minute. We're going on high. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but even the color has changed. It's become much lighter. Now it looks like icing. And you know what we have to do? We have to make sure it doesn't need anything else. So it's early in the morning too, and I'm tasting cream cheese icing. Perfection. Now let me tell you, I let that whip on high. I put everything in the dishwasher. I went and got the cake out, kind of cleaned up my area. So it whipped a good little while, you know, 3 to 5 minutes maybe. But so yeah. Now we're going to take our whisk attachment off. Oh my goodness. I think I'll save that. I might want to nibble some more. So good. All right, so let's take this off. Slide that out of the way. There's my cake. I went and got it. And y'all know I'm not a cake decorator. I just am not. I need to take a class. But ain't nobody got time for that. But I do need to take a class. Like, I desperately need to take a class. Especially if I'm going to do cakes for benefits and stuff like that. I want it to be halfway pretty. And we'll try to make it somewhat pretty. All right. So I'm going to take just a minute with what I have now. And to just kind of go across. Pushing it down the side a little bit. Now I should have put wax paper on the little cardboard thing. You know, to pull it out where it's neat, but I didn't. I kind of want to push some down in the hole and just take my spatula and go around the center, being sure to get icing there too. Once I get that center hole done, I can kind of concentrate on the outside at that point. All right. Now, let's just go around the outside, and I have more icing in the stand mixer bowl. So if we need more, I definitely have it. I'm seeing, as I'm turning the cake, I'm seeing areas down in the hole that needs a little icing. So as I turn, I'm looking the whole cake to make sure we have plenty of icing. Oh, how I wish I knew how to make a cake pretty. But hey, I guess the main thing is the taste, right? And I know this cake is delicious. I've made this one for years and years. The first time I had this cake, Bryant and I had gone to a bed and breakfast. And we walked in, and you know, there's something just cozy and warm. We were in the mountains of North Carolina. Our church had given us a getaway. And this was when we were at our first church. And we went to this, and it was in the winter because our anniversary is in January. So you go in, and the fire in the fireplace is going. They usually have pretty lights around, and there was this heavenly smell. I know y'all can't see what I'm doing. There was this, I mean, just glorious smell of something baking. And I think I would have learned how to make this cake even if it was nothing more than for the smell, but then to taste it and to know how good it tasted. And oh, it was just wonderful. So I have made this. We were early in ministry then, young in ministry, and I love a bed and breakfast. Oh my goodness. That's where I like to stay, especially when it's a husband-wife getaway. Unless it's a fishing trip. We can't stay in a bed and breakfast when it's a fishing trip. Gotta stay in a fishing motel. But all right, I have just a little bit more need of a little bit more right here on the sides. I'm gonna put it right here on the top so I can work with it up there. And we're gonna just slide it down. Okay. So now the only thing of decorating I know to do is my little knife trick. Make sure I'm good all the way around. Okay, so my little knife trick. You take a knife, or I could use that, but it's got icing on it. And I just put little peaks. I just touch it and lift it real quick, creating peaks all over the cake. But don't put a hole in it like I just did. And it just kind of looks like a spiky little cake. You have a spiky little cake. I do my chocolate cake this way. It just gives it character. It kind of hides any flaws. Or if they see the flaw, they think, oh, that's supposed to be there. I don't know. It just kind of, since I don't know how to decorate a cake, I think this is what I do just to make it look somewhat that it was meant to be. It was meant to be rustic and stuff. So there we go. Let's see. Need some right there. Are we good? Y'all can see that side. All right. So now I just want to take my toasted pecans and sprinkle just a few on top. Doesn't look like I'm going to need all the ones I did. So I would say no more than 1/4 of a cup of chopped pecans. Now, I mean, you could definitely put this all over the sides if you wanted to put it on the sides as well. But I think I'm just going on the top. Okay. How does that look to you guys? Is that okay? All right. So here we go. Our butter pecan cake with cream cheese icing. And not so pretty decorated, but hey, we tried, right? We tried. So now If you saw my grocery haul, I'm going to box it up because Bryant's got to deliver it. Now, I know most people wrap their cake, but I don't want to wrap the cake because it's iced. So I'm going to set the cake in the box after I put the box together. And then I'm going to wrap some saran wrap around the outside of the box. You understand? Because I don't want the pressure of the saran wrap on the icing. So I'm going to do that. And unfortunately, there's no taste test. But listen, I can already tell you, we've already had it, so it's not like I don't know that it's good, because it is. This is my husband's favorite cake. And I don't know if I should go in or out, or I think I'm going to go in. All right. Trying to figure out the box. So, since I need to pay attention to what I'm doing, I'm going to let you go. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this cake. I hope you enjoyed. Listen, anytime you need a cream cheese icing, here's your go-to. 4 cups of powdered sugar, a block of cream cheese, a stick of butter, and again, depending on if you use salted butter or not, add a pinch of salt if you use unsalted, and a teaspoon of vanilla, and you have the most delicious cream cheese icing. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I'm going to go and finish putting this box together, get this boxed up, and get on with my day. So I will see you guys next time on the Farming Pastor's Wife. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you more than you ever know. And I will see you next time. Hey, we're doing a family dinner. I hope to get another pound cake made, but we're going to do my grandma's pound cake. And, oh, I got to tell you guys, you got to stay tuned. Probably next week. I'm hoping it'll be next week. But we're making, something I've never made. And a company has sent me a square. They're trying to bring back the retro square tube pans. So we're going to give the pan a try and see how I like it. But we're also going to try like a mile-high pound cake recipe. And I cannot wait. So I got to get some stuff at the grocery store to make that one. So, all right, I will see you guys next time on the Farming Pastor's Wife. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.